The Bold and the Beautiful. Scoop for Wednesday, November 26th. Reveals Ridge Forrester won't be spending Thanksgiving with Brooke Forrester. Also coming up, Sheila Carter and Deacon Sharp will spend Thanksgiving with Il Giardino's new songbird and her main squeeze. B&B spoilers tease Deacon, and Sheila will have a couple of special guests at their Il Giardino holiday feast. They'll invite Daphne Rose and Carter Walton to their little shindig. This will be quite the departure for Deacon. As viewers will recall, he had a rather violent showdown with Carter back in April. Deacon confronted Carter at Forrester Creations for betraying his daughter, and it turned into an all-out brawl. Surprisingly, Hope Logan and Deke Sharp won't be there. Then again, they've made it perfectly clear to their father that they were disappointed that he had reunited with Sheila. Nevertheless, the unlikely quartet of Deacon, Sheila, Carter, and Daphne will have an enjoyable Thanksgiving together. Meanwhile, Ridge's presence at Steffi Forrester and John Finnegan's holiday celebration could make things a little awkward. Taylor Hayes will be seated beside the man who ended their engagement recently and broke her heart. However, despite it all, Steffi will be happy both parents will be with her family at the Cliff House. Of course, an enthusiastic Hayes Finnegan and Kelly Spencer will also be there to join in the Thanksgiving feast. But who will Brooke be spending the day with? And will Steffi's family honor the tradition of going around the table with each person saying what they're thankful for? Hey B&B fans! Are you enjoying the latest CBS Sudzer Beyond the Gates? Then make sure you join our free Facebook group. Keep reading The Soap Scoop, your source for the latest soap opera spoilers and B&B spoilers and news. And make sure to also join our B&B Facebook group. But if you miss an episode, don't fret. You can watch The Bold and the Beautiful online at cbs.com. The Bold and the Beautiful recap for Monday, November 24th reveals that Electra Forrester faced her next Luna Nozawa mystery while a new PR team stunned Katie Logan. At the beach house, Electra and Will took some time off work to process everything that happened. It was hard to move on when phone notifications kept coming in about all the salacious Luna stories, including ones about her connection to the Forresters. Since a major Luna blowup was happening online, Carter Walton announced that he'd called in reinforcements. Katie needed time off work, so Carter brought in another PR team to help manage the crisis. While Carter gave Ridge Forrester, Brooke Logan Forrester, Eric Forrester, and Donna Logan Forrester updates, Katie and Bill Spencer talked at the Spencer Mansion. Reporters wanted to question Bill since he was the one who got Luna pardoned, but Katie didn't want him beating himself up any longer. Bill ultimately agreed that Dollar Bill was back in business and seemed ready to be the leader their family deserved. While checking in over the phone, Katie gave Will a nudge towards some sessions with Taylor Hayes, but he turned down the idea. At Forrester Creations, Robin from the new PR team stressed the importance of changing the narrative back to fashion. Ridge liked Robin's pitch and signed the paperwork for her team to clean up the mess. Once Katie showed up, she was surprised to hear an outside PR team had been hired so she could take a step back from all this. Katie seemed a bit unsettled over the news, but she ultimately shared a sweet group hug with Donna and Brooke as they supported her through all her family drama. Next on Monday's B&B episode, Will reflected on Luna's crimes, including when she locked Dylan up during all the beach house turmoil. Electra eventually got a text on her phone that said, "I'm the one that ran over Luna." That left Electra puzzled over how the person knew her number and why they would text her this. While Electra and Will reeled over this development, the mystery driver's phone could be seen elsewhere. The Bold and the Beautiful spoilers say Dylan will be revealed as the person behind this text soon, so don't miss her upcoming admission. At Forrester, Donna and Brooke assure Katie she can count on them. Ridge joins her in going over how Luna escaped and went right to Will. Katie's grateful that Will is going to have the chance to have a child with someone he loves, and not that psychopath. Thank God she's dead, and thank God Will is going to be all right. They go over how differently it could have ended. Katie appreciates all of their kind words. Brooke hopes her stress level will go down. Katie just wants to look after her son, and mentions how grateful she is that Electra stood by him. In the design office, Will and Electra puzzle over the text from the driver of the car who ran over Luna. Electra wonders, "What do you want from me? Who are you?" Will suggests she put it out of her mind, The police already determined it was an accident. Electra listens as he urges her to block the number and then kisses him. Electra's working on her own when Dylan interrupts. Electra gushes that it's so good to see her and wonders what brings Hayes' art school teacher to Forrester. Dylan hands her a coffee and recalls how they used to meet up. Electra mentions that horrible day and is sure she's relieved that Maniac Luna is gone. Will joins his mother, aunts, and Ridge in the main office, and they all ask how he's holding up. He hasn't quite wrapped his head around everything, but is grateful for his support team. Electra, most of all. Ridge gives Will some work to do, and he files out with his mother. Ridge worries Katie's upset about the new PR firm. Brooke thinks she'll realize it's a good idea. They go over there being nothing Katie wouldn't do for her son. Across the hall, Dylan tells Electra she got a new number and apologizes for not reaching out sooner. Electra marvels at what she went through. It's okay that she took time for herself. They go over Luna, conning her into thinking she was an origami expert named Miss Sunshine. Dylan flashes back to her pulling a gun on her and tying her up. If Luna had killed Steffi, she doesn't know what she'd have done. Dylan says she needs a friend. That's why she's there. Something else happened in my life. Electra senses something is weighing on her. Dylan has dedicated her entire life to children and is a peaceful person. She'd never hurt anyone, not on purpose. That's why I have something to tell you, something to confess. In the showroom, Katie worries about Will, who needs good vibes, and asks about her and his dad. Katie's happy. The whole situation with Luna brought them together. She then asks about Electra. Will tells her about the weird text from earlier. In the main office, Brooke thanks Ridge for being so supportive of Katie and Will. They go over Steffi and Will surviving Luna. His child didn't. Brooke thinks it's good for her nephew to focus on work and Electra. Ridge mentions he brought in the PR firm to make things easier for Katie. Brooke hopes she'll see that. They go over how loving Brooke is, and they make out. In the showroom, Will tells Katie the text really freaked Electra out. He's not sure if it was a joke. They don't know who it was from, but it was meant for his girlfriend. The person told her they were the one who ran over Luna. In the design office, Dylan hopes Electra won't think less of her after she tells her. She was out near the beach the other night, close to where they had the classes. She was driving, and out of nowhere, someone ran into the road. She hit her. Dylan admits the text was from her. It was an accident, I swear. The police know. She called them immediately. Electra gops. You ran over Luna? Dylan did. She killed her. Electra will help her. We will get through this together. You don't have to carry this burden alone. The bold and the beautiful spoilers hint that 2 new storylines may be brewing for Will Spencer and Electra Forrester. Separate paths could follow the latest Luna Nozawa crisis, so let's talk about what's in store. Electra and Will managed to overcome plenty of challenges when it came to Luna, including her surprise pregnancy. Now that Luna is deceased, according to the cops, Will and Electra are finally free of her. Of course, that could change depending on whatever twists or rewrites B&B might deliver down the road. In the meantime, we should focus on the 2 new storylines that are seemingly in the works for Electra and Will. For starters, the show may dive deeper into Will's attempt to shake off this Luna mess. Here could be some mental health turmoil for Will since he's rejecting therapy with Taylor Hayes. It looks like Will may find a different way of coping with everything he's been through. Will may accept Bill Spencer's job offer and agree to a fresh start at Spencer Publications, especially since he's tied to Luna's scandal at Forrester. If Will indeed trades his Forrester career for one at Spencer, that could lead to some distance in his relationship. Will won't be able to spend as much time with Electra since they won't work for the same company anymore. Plus, Will may become a bit of a workaholic as he tries to distract himself from any lingering Luna issues. We might see Will embrace some aggressive Spencer business tactics and become a less attentive boyfriend in the process. As for Electra, she may get busy in a different storyline as well. If Deke Sharp forgives Remy Price as expected, Electra may make it her mission to split them up for good. Electra definitely won't be pleased if Deke gives Remy another chance, so you can bet she'll speak her mind about that. Deke and Remy's future could come with even more hurdles thanks to Electra'S attempt to protect her friend from her former stalker. Will Electra and Will's romance survive getting shoved into separate new storylines? Could the closeness Will and Electra developed through the Luna crisis ultimately be undone? The bold and the beautiful, spoilers say, Electra and Will's relationship may be tested in different ways with Luna gone, so we'll bring you updates on any other major romantic news. Here are your The Bold and the Beautiful spoilers for Tuesday, November 25th, 2025. On Monday's all-new episode, the characters were left dealing with the aftermath of Luna's unexpected death and the miscarriage that claimed her unborn child. For some, Luna being wiped off the face of the earth was an early holiday miracle, but for others, like Will, things are a bit more complicated. He's forced to grapple with the loss of a child whom he already had conflicting feelings about. However, Luna is gone, and everyone has to find a way to rebuild, despite her presence looming like a dark cloud. One of the major talking points from Monday's episode was the bizarre text Electra received from someone claiming to be the person who hit Luna with their car. On Tuesday's episode, Katie and Electra grow concerned over mysterious texts, which implied that more are on the way, beyond the initial contact. After months of being subjected to Luna's taunts and manipulations, the last thing Katie, Electra, or anyone close to them needs in their lives is another reason to live in fear. Whoever is targeting Electra with these messages may have a dark ulterior motive by claiming responsibility for Luna's demise. Electra's previous trauma may come into play as well, since she has a history of being stalked through anonymous means. Her past with Remy was recently stirred up when he was revealed to be Deke's mystery man. This could be the final straw that finally breaks Electra, transforming her optimistic attitude into a more dynamic, albeit jaded version of herself. The other key part of Tuesday's episode will focus on an admission of guilt that will likely be made by the driver who was responsible for putting an end to Luna's story. It's unclear what the motive might be for choosing to come forward. There's a lot of publicity surrounding Luna's death and her connection to the Forrester family, so perhaps the person responsible is looking for some sort of monetary gain. Whatever it is, it smells like trouble. And usually, where there's smoke, there's fire. Luna's story hijacked the show for the better part of a year, so if the story is going to continue, even after Lisa Yamada's departure, they might as well change course and bring the character back. This was an opportunity to move on from the lunacy of Luna, but instead, the story appears to be heading toward its next chapter. Also, aside from hoping for payment of some sort, what would the person gain by revealing themselves as the driver behind the fatal collision? None of it makes sense. Forrester's new crisis PR team is about to have a lot more work on their hands if the drive decides to make trouble for the company. This could make or break the success of Forrester's upcoming launches, which include the highly anticipated revival of Hope for the Future. The Bold and the Beautiful spoilers hint that Hope Logan may have a pre-wedding request for Steffi Forrester Finnegan. Hope might need a favor ahead of her Liam Spencer nuptials, so let's consider a question she could ask as her big day draws near. There was a time when Hope and Steffi were fierce enemies, but they've put their rivalry to rest. Steffi and Hope reached a huge turning point when they thought Liam was dying of a brain tumor, so now they understand the importance of family and coming together. Thankfully, B&B revealed Liam's grim diagnosis was a false alarm. What Grace Buckingham did was despicable, but at least Liam and Hope figured out they still wanted a future as a couple. Once Steffi returned from her trip, she congratulated Hope on her engagement to Liam. It's clear that Steffi supports Hope and Liam's reunion, so that's good news after all the love triangle drama of the past. Hope needs someone to stand up for her at her upcoming marriage ceremony, so will she ask Steffi to be her matron of honor? It'd be fitting since Hope also served as Steffi's matron of honor when she married John Finn Finnegan. There'd be no better way to prove that Steffi and Hope have truly put their feud behind them. Liam will always have a special place in his heart for Steffi since they remain good friends and co-parents to Kelly Spencer. You can bet Liam would be delighted if Hope included Steffi in the official wedding party. Beth Spencer is running the show when it comes to Liam and Hope's wedding plans, but we have no doubt she'd approve of Steffi as Hope's matron of honor pick. Perhaps Kelly could be a bridesmaid and become an important part of the celebration as well. Beth is serving as Hope and Liam's unconventional officiant, but she'd surely love it if Steffi and Kelly were key players in the nuptials too. Whatever the case, the bold and the beautiful spoilers say Hope and Liam will make more wedding-related decisions in the coming episodes, so stay tuned for updates as their ceremony gets closer. The bold and the beautiful spoilers for Tuesday, November 25th, reveal that Dylan will make a driver confession, so Hayes Finnegan's art teacher ran over Luna Nozawa. Electra Forrester just got a text from someone claiming to have been behind the wheel that night, so she was both stunned and confused. It left Electra wondering how this person got her number and why they would send her this message. On Tuesday's B&B episode, Electra may text back some questions and try to get to the bottom of all this. Once Electra updates Katie Logan on the situation, they'll mull over who could be responsible and agree this whole thing is a bit unsettling. Later, Electra will be in the Forrester design office when someone surprising comes along. It'll be Dylan, who taught Hayes' summer art program at the beach house. Electra used to pick Hayes up from class sometimes, so she'll definitely remember Dylan from their earlier interactions. That also explains how Dylan got Electra's phone number, since she presumably had it in case there was an emergency with Hayes. However, Electra won't put the puzzle pieces right away when Dylan shows up at Forrester Creations. Dylan will sit down with Electra and announce that she's got something to confess, so that should lead to a full admission about what happened with Luna. B&B fans will recall that Luna terrified Dylan when she locked her up as a hostage during all the beach house chaos. Dylan was no doubt traumatized by that incident, and even more traumatized when Luna jumped in the path of her car out of nowhere. That said, this was clearly an accident and not an act of revenge. Dylan couldn't have known that Luna would pop out at that exact moment, so she's not in trouble with the cops or anyone else. Of course, Dylan might admit she's relieved to know Luna won't be able to hurt anyone anymore. Even so, a life was lost, and this created a media frenzy. So Dylan may apologize for any distress she caused. The bold and the beautiful spoilers say Electra will be thrown for a loop once Dylan comes clean, so stay tuned for her reaction to this shocking news. The bold and the beautiful spoilers hint that Remy Price, the fashion show crasher, could put Hope Logan and Deke Sharp's big event in jeopardy. Things are going well when it comes to Hope for the Future's revival and the brilliant team she's put together. Deke has brought something fresh to the table since his designs are a little edgier and will help draw more attention to the line. Hope is pleased with the direction Hope for the Future is headed in, but she's not the only one. Ridge Forrester and Steffi Forrester Finnegan have also given their approval, so fashion show plans are moving forward. The goal will be to debut some gorgeous gowns and impress the buyers as well as the critics. This could make or break Hope's line and determine whether Deke sets himself up for a successful fashion designer career. However, there could be a problem if Remy decides he just can't stay away. Will Remy crash the upcoming fashion show and cause some chaos in the process? Deke pushed for some time and space after learning all the horrifying things Remy did to Electra, so Remy agreed to back off. Remy assured Deke that he'd go to therapy, so he's willing to put in the work and prove he's a changed man. Even so, B&B fans know that Remy adores Deke and is pretty desperate to hold on to him at this point. The longer Deke and Remy are apart, the more dire the situation may become from Remy's point of view. Remy may ultimately feel like he just can't take the separation anymore. This distance may become too much to bear, and leave Remy feeling like he needs to make a bold move. Plus, Remy won't want to miss Deke's big fashion debut at Forrester Creations. This is a huge deal for Deke, so Remy may insist on coming and showing support to the man he loves. Unfortunately, that could lead to some trouble since Remy presumably won't be invited. Remy may have to crash this fashion event, so there could be trouble if Electra Forrester and others in the building spot him. Remy could cause a major scene if he once again shows up where he's not wanted. Deke may end up livid if Remy ruins the vibe of the fashion show and derails what should have been a happy occasion. The bold and the beautiful spoilers say Remy won't give up on a romantic reset with Deke, but bad news could be looming if Remy makes some updates to his reunion strategy. The bold and the beautiful spoilers update for the week of November 24 to 28 reveals that Sheila Sharp and Deacon Sharp will have a double date, while Katie Logan and Will Spencer are given some new job offers. Now that Deputy Chief Bradley Baker has confirmed Luna Nozawa's demise, there'll be tons of talk about her online. The Luna saga will apparently capture everyone's attention in the media and bring some unwanted attention to Forrester Creations, where Luna used to work. Katie will plan on putting out some PR fires, but Brooke Logan Forrester will admit someone else has taken over as the head of PR. Brooke may think Katie needs to focus on healing her family right now and use that to announce they've put someone else in charge in the meantime. Since Hayes Finnegan's former art teacher, Dylan, will appear all dressed up at Forrester Creations, she might score a PR job if she's got some secret experience for it. Dylan got caught up in the Luna mess as a hostage back in the summer, but she's still more of an outsider than Katie in this situation. Katie is the grandmother of the baby Luna was carrying and was literally out on the beach searching for her when that car ran her over. It's clear that Katie's too close to all this, but Dylan's brief hostage stint isn't a fresh wound and isn't tied to the latest escape drama. Whatever the case, Katie and Electra Forrester will ultimately react to some strange texts that bring a mystery. Dylan may solve that mystery if she sent them, since she's about to corner Electra and make a confession. If Dylan believed Remy Price during the deepfake fiasco and somehow helped him or said something negative about Electra, she may want to apologize for that. Then again, Dylan's confession could be about Luna or something else entirely. It'll be interesting to hear what Dylan's news is when she ambushes Electra in the design office. As for Bill Spencer, it looks like he'll reclaim his old dollar bill mentality and determine that this new and improved thing just isn't for him. Bill may revert to his former self a bit, since B&B spoilers say he'll make some sort of comeback. Of course, Bill won't do anything too wild, since he won't want to wreck things with Katie. Instead, Bill will stress the importance of Spencer family unity and will invite Katie to come work at Spencer Publications along with Will if he'll agree to it. There'll also be an adorable Thanksgiving episode on Wednesday, November 26th, so look for Sheila and Deacon to have a double date at Il Giardino. Deacon and Sheila will convince Carter Walton and Daphne Rose to join them for a meal at the restaurant, so the four of them will count their blessings. Sheila will remain thankful to Taylor Hayes for pushing Deacon back in his wife's direction, but Deacon and Taylor will secretly be pining for each other. However, Taylor will take some time to concentrate on her family for a while, since she'll be part of a Thanksgiving celebration with Steffi Forrester Finnegan, John Finn Finnegan, and the kids at the Cliff House. Ridge Forrester will be a surprise guest at that get-together, so Taylor will plaster on a smile and try not to think about how much he hurt her. After a repeat airs on Thursday, November 27th, B&B will be preempted on Friday, November 28th. It'll be a short week of episodes, but there'll still be plenty of good stuff to look forward to. The Bold and the Beautiful. Spoilers say the week of November 24-28 will bring some unexpected proposals and important admissions, so stick with us for updates on all the action. The B&B cast sang their praises of support for the incredible actress who kept the audience on their toes when she portrayed the role of Luna Nozawa. Most of Los Angeles isn't that sad about Luna Nozawa's death. She caused it trouble for the Finnegans, Forresters, and Spencer families. On the other hand, the cast of The Bold and the Beautiful will miss her portrayer, Lisa Yamadata. She wrapped up Luna's storyline and her run on the show. Luna thought she was one step closer to freedom. On the contrary, she was one step closer to death. While on the run, the authorities and most of Los Angeles searched for her in last Thursday's episode. Luna smiled as she ran far away from them. Then, she stepped out into the path of an oncoming car which ran her over. Yamada wrapped up her time on the soap. She posted a slideshow of memories on Instagram, which included shots of the CBS Studios lot, behind-the-scenes filming, her first ever daytime Emmy, and a cake that had the words lunatic on it. In the caption, she wrote, "So many tears shed, blood spilled, friendships formed, and memories made on at Bold and Beautiful CBS. What a ride it's been. Hope you enjoyed the adventures. 3 Lune Adek for or ever." Luna's death might not have all of LA in tears, but Yamada has the cast wishing she were back. Annika Noel wrote, "She's an icon, she's a legend, And she is the moment missing you already superstar. We still have to do a TikTok together. Come back and kidnap Hope anytime. Lawrence St. Victor delivered up some praises, writing, "You're an absolute warrior. To carry story the Yue did and command the screen is nothing short of amazing. To play the innocent ingenue, then the evil villain, to the broken character that just wants to be loved. Nai, chef's kiss. You're amazing." Jacqueline McInnes Wood wrote, "Proud of you, rockstar. Exciting time. Many more incredible adventures around the corner. Enjoy the reedy." Rebecca Budig added, "Wish I could have done more with you, girl. They threw so much at you. So many words, so much emotion, and you rocked it all." There were also plenty of jokes in the comments. Christian Weissman jokingly asked, "Cool, so where am I?" He wanted to know why he wasn't included in her slideshow. Meanwhile, Linnea Grace posted, "Come home, the kids miss you." We're all going to miss her. She kept the viewers on their toes as she transitioned from good girl next door to a soap villain. Yamada's acting made the viewers love to hate Luna. Electra and Will recall the trauma of Luna's crimes, which won't go away as easily as she did. On The Bold and the Beautiful, Monday, November 24th, 2025, Will and Electra try to get a fresh start after Luna's death. However, the trauma still lives on through the forms of social media alerts and mysterious text messages. As usual, Los Angeles is coming to terms with Luna's shocking death. She was struck by a car while she tried to flee from the authorities. Now, everyone has to deal with the aftermath, including Electra and Will. They were given time off to mourn the events that led up to Luna's shocking death. They're all mourning the sudden loss of the baby and Luna's many crimes. Surely, her death would bring them peace of mind. However, the headlines are catching on to Luna's death, and it could involve a massive PR cleanup at Forrester Creations. Normally, Katie would handle this, but Ridge had to hire help since she was taking time off to process all that had happened. Meanwhile, Will didn't expect to spend his days pacing at the beach house. He apologized to Electra for constantly looking at his phone. The two can't escape the non-stop notifications. Will recalled all of Luna's crimes. Electra agreed that Luna had hurt a lot of people, including Will himself. She shared how Luna took advantage of him and used him to get out of jail. Electra was just grateful that he was fine and no longer in Luna's danger. Electra noticed the reports that said that the driver who killed Luna is still anonymous. Will said he couldn't imagine driving on a dark road and seeing a person jump in front of them. It could have been purely accidental. At that same time, Electra gets a mysterious text message from someone who claims to be the person who ran over Luna. Why would they text her instead of Steffi? She is Hayes' mom, whom Luna was stalking out at the time of the school shooting. The scene cut to an undisclosed location. The mystery person looks at their phone screen, which sent the text to Electra. Who could it be? Was it Remy who wanted to redeem himself? He could apologize to Electra for all the hurt and pain he's caused her. Another possibility is that it's Ms. Dillon, the art school teacher whom Luna held hostage during her shootout at the beach house. It seems coincidental, but the B&B spoilers suggest that Dillon returns to visit Electra and has something to confess. Maybe Dillon noticed Luna, and she wanted to get her revenge on her. But will she be able to keep it a secret for long? It's going to be a day filled with thanks on B&B. The Bold and the Beautiful's must-watch moments for Wednesday, November 26th include Ridge, Taylor, Steffi, Finn, Kelly, and Hayes gathering for a Thanksgiving feast at Steffi and Finn's house. Plus, Deacon, Sheila, Carter, and Daphne also give thanks. It has been an absolutely chaotic month in Los Angeles. Luna died after announcing she'd miscarried Will's baby. Of course, before that, Luna had made a dramatic escape from prison, leaving everyone on edge. Will and Electra also moved into the beach house together. Bill and Katie managed to move back in together too. They reconnected after helping Will through the awful aftermath of Luna raping him. Now that Katie has lost her position at Forrester, it looks like these two could be working together too. Meanwhile, Ridge and Brooke are remarried. Deacon and Sheila are having marriage problems because she kept Luna being alive a secret. That's okay though, because Taylor is helping Deacon. But they've crossed a line. Steffi returned home just in time for the details about Luna being alive to come out. Of course, now she's dead, and Steffi and Finn are left oddly grieving Finn's oldest child, who also tried to kill Steffi not too long ago. Wednesday, November 26, 2025, 9662. It is Thanksgiving as Ridge, Taylor, Steffi, Finn, Kelly, and Hayes feast as they go around the table saying what they are thankful for, as do Deacon, Sheila, Carter, and Daphne. Even though Luna hasn't worked for Forrester Creations for some time, her death caught media attention. Luna's death is trending on the internet, which means bad news for Forrester Creations. The PR team normally handles this, but Katie is taking time off. Carter had to call in reinforcements on The Bold and the Beautiful. When Luna was first introduced to the soap, she was a naive young intern at Forrester Creations. She took an immediate interest in RJ. However, her mother didn't want her to get involved with the Forresters, but it was the Forresters who should have been warned. Luna became a good girl gone bad by committing many crimes and cardinal sins. She had a fixation with finding out who her biological father was, and then betting Will. Since then, she has escaped from jail and made a daring escape. This led to a massive search that involved the authorities and most of Los Angeles. Luna thought she secured her freedom until she stepped out in front of a car. Now, everyone is coming to terms with the loss of Luna's baby and her many crimes. As the headlines come out, the Forresters can't believe how crazy things have gotten. Carter noted that Luna was part of their company once. Katie would handle this in a snap, but she's taking time off with her family, so he had to hire a crisis team. Katie will be shocked that she's been replaced at Forrester. Everyone's buzzing about Luna, which is not good. They're not talking about her killer fashion sense, especially her green and black leather suit. They're talking about how she went from FC intern to cold-blooded killer overnight. There was an emergency meeting at Forrester Creations. Ridge, Brooke, Eric, and Donna spoke to Robin, who is the best at crisis management. This suggests that these stories are unlikely to settle down anytime soon. People can't stop talking about Luna, especially when she was involved with Forrester Creations and some of the men who have worked there. This could backfire on them. Forrester Creations had to rebuild its reputation after the coup attempt by Carter and Hope. Now, they have to deal with Luna, who is still haunting them from beyond. Dylan confessed to Electra that she was the one who ran over Luna. What will happen next? On The Bold and the Beautiful, Tuesday, November 25th, 2025, Electra gets a surprise visit from Dylan. She had something to confess about the night that Luna died. Will and Electra wanted to get back to work. They wanted to keep their minds on something else, rather than Luna's crimes and death. However, they were still perplexed by the text message from the driver who had run over Luna. The last thing that Electra needed was someone else harassing her. Will advised her to keep it out of her mind since the police deemed it an accident. Electra told Will that she would heed his advice. Will left the office to attend to other tasks. Then, Dylan interrupted Electra while she was working. Electra was ecstatic to see her old friend again. She wanted to know what brought her to Forrester. Dylan tried to sweeten her up with a coffee. She recalled the old times when they would meet up for coffee. Electra told Dylan that she's already had a bad day, but she's happy to know that Luna is out of their lives. Dylan looked like something was eating away at her. She told Electra that she got a new phone number. She apologized for not reaching out sooner. Electra was in awe over Dylan changing her life around and focusing on herself. Luna manipulated Dylan and made her think she was an origami teacher named Ms. Sunshine. Dylan can't imagine what would have happened if Luna had killed Steffi. She shuddered at the thought. But what she needed right now is a friend. Electra could tell something was wrong with her friend. However, Dylan claimed she turned a new leaf by living a peaceful life and working with children. Yet, she had something to confess. Dylan didn't want Electra to think differently of her after this. She explained that she was driving along the beach the other night. Out of nowhere, someone ran into the road. Dylan admitted that it was an accident. The police already knew. She spoke with them already. Electra was in shock as she asked, "You ran over Luna?" Then, she assured Dylan that they would take on this burden together. But will Electra stick to her word? Or will she share this information with Will? With Luna gone, what will challenge Electra and Will's relationship next? The police already know, but they're not willing to release the name of the driver. What could happen if Dylan's secret is exposed? The Bold and the Beautiful recap is in for Monday, November 24th, 2025. In today's episode, Luna Nozawa goes viral after her death. Forrester Creations brings in an outside public relations team. Plus, Bill Spencer is being ambushed by the media demanding answers. At their new home, Electra Forrester tries to support Will Spencer. As they dry off after a swim, Will's phone goes off. It's another notification about Luna. The young man can't stop thinking about how Luna destroyed all their lives. The phone goes off again. Will wants to ignore it, but Electra reasons it might be Katie Logan. Electra was right. Katie just wanted to check on her son. The brunette suggests maybe he could open up to Taylor Hayes. Will says he is fine. After hanging up, Will and Electra discuss the damage Luna caused. Electra clarifies that Luna tried to destroy them, but failed. This isn't how Will wanted to spend their day together. Now Electra's phone goes off. It's a text message from someone claiming to have run over Luna. At the mansion, Bill and Katie talk. Bill didn't sleep very well. Katie didn't either, as things just keep looping in her head. Bill's phone goes off. It's more stories about Luna. Katie says she got what she deserved in the end. People keep calling Bill, demanding details about Luna, because he's the one who got her pardoned. Read this. The Bold and the Beautiful, Most Shocking Moments. 5 DVD set, by here. Eric Forrester. Donna Logan Forrester. Ridge Forrester, Brooke Logan Forrester, and Carter Walton are talking. They discuss that Luna is going viral. Brooke told Will and Electra to take some time off. Carter feels for Will, as well as Beatty. Ridge says this can't be easy for John Finnegan either. Eric agrees with Carter and thinks the miscarriage is tragic. Brooke mentions the headlines are getting more insane. Donna agrees. Carter says Katie has been swamped lately, so he brought in an outside PR team to handle the Luna fallout. They all go to the office, and it's nothing but Luna everywhere they go. Carter makes introductions to the PR team. Brooke keeps texting Katie, but she's not answering. Katie suddenly walks in. They all explain they just want to take a load off her shoulders. Katie asks to speak to Donna and Brooke alone. When the ladies are alone, Katie admits things have been so hard. She's thankful for them, and they share a hug. Share your thoughts in the comment section below. Remember to keep watching the soap on CBS or Paramount Plus to find out what happens next. Did the Bold and the Beautiful writers borrow a page from Pretty Little Liars when Hay were writing Luna Nozawa's latest storyline? We all saw Luna Nozawa die. What if there were 2 Lunas running around Los Angeles, though? That means only one Luna is dead, and there's still a one on the loose. Since it was revealed that Lisa Yamada's character was the Il Giardino killer, there have been whisperings of an evil twin storyline. We can all agree that Luna's behavior makes no sense. If she was 2 separate people, then that would explain some of the discrepancies in the character. The Bold and the Beautiful has seemingly confirmed that Luna Nozawa is dead. But that doesn't mean she doesn't have a doppelganger running around that could still be pregnant with Will Spencer Jr.'s baby. And that would mean that Lisa Yamada would still very much be a part of the soap's cast. If it is later revealed that Poppy Nozawa and John Finnegan had 2 babies, that would explain where Luna found doppelganger. Poppy has lied about pretty much everything. It wouldn't be shocking if she confessed Luna had a twin that she didn't raise. And she was gone when she gave birth. The Nozawa family would have been none the wiser. Giving up one baby and keeping one sounds like something selfish that Poppy would do. We will never know which Luna got struck by traffic. The lookalikes could have swapped places during the police chase on the beach. Evil Luna could resurface and claim that all of the crimes were committed by her dead twin. Do you think that the writers are setting the stage for Lisa Yamada to return as Luna's long-lost twin? Is that how they will bring the character back? Will Steffi Forrester and Hope Logan actually be on good terms during the holidays this year? The Bold and the Beautiful has set a record for the longest stretch of time the 2 women have been able to go without feuding. But B&B spoilers hint all that is about to change. Hope and Steffi have been on good terms for a while now, which is a miracle after Ridge Forrester dumped Taylor Hayes for Hope's mom, Brooke Logan. However, all that could change as the big Lope wedding gets closer. Here's what's coming up next on Bold and Beautiful. Spoilers down below. Hope Logan and Steffi Forrester's battles have been well documented over the decades on the CBS soap. Sure, Steffi and Hope have butted heads over Dr. Finn and their parents' relationships and Forrester creations. But it has been quite a while since we saw the two women face off over their mutual ex-husband, Liam Spencer. Technically, Steffi Forrester is a married woman and shouldn't care that Liam Spencer is marrying Hope. Bold and Beautiful. Spoilers hint that won't be the case, though. Instead, Steffi will start to be bothered by all the chatter over the upcoming I do's. Some rumors hint she might even tell Liam that she still has feelings for him and confess she is thinking of leaving her husband. Steffi Forrester doesn't necessarily have to sleep with Liam or cheat on her husband to derail Hope's wedding. She spent a lot of time with Liam when he wasn't dying on his deathbed, and her opinion matters to her ex-husband. Steffi could just get in Liam's ear and put some doubts in his head about getting married so fast. Do you think Steffi will take the high road when Lope's wedding date grows near? Or will she try to derail the nuptials? Are you Team Hope or Team Steffi? Something strange happened on The Bold and the Beautiful after Will Spencer Jr. learned that Luna Nozawa had a miscarriage and lost their baby. Will actually seemed genuinely upset that she was no longer pregnant. Was that actually sadness instead of relief on Electra Forrester's boyfriend's face? Keep reading to find out what's coming up next on Bold and the Beautiful. Spoilers down below. Right before Luna Nozawa was executed by a car on the highway, she tracked down Will Spencer Jr. and shared some shocking news with her baby daddy. Luna revealed that she was no longer pregnant, and she had a miscarriage while she was behind bars. Will Spencer shocked soap viewers at home and seemed genuinely upset that they weren't having a baby anymore. Apparently, he had finally accepted the fact that he had impregnated a serial killer, and it turns out that he was looking forward to becoming a father. Luna's miscarriage news was a punch in the gut for Dollar Bill's son. Rather than celebrating, B&B spoilers say Will Spencer will grieve his unborn child and roadkill baby mama. However, it's going to drive a wedge between him and his girlfriend. Electra Forrester is going to have a tough time comforting Will. As a matter of fact, she will probably be too busy celebrating her rival's gruesome exit. If Electra is too happy about Luna's death, her boyfriend might even become bitter. If the Spencer family wants to get technical, Luna probably wouldn't have had a miscarriage if she wasn't thrown in prison. Let's not forget that Electra went behind the Spencers' back and called the police and had pregnant Luna arrested and hauled away. There's a possibility Will might even blame his girlfriend for Luna losing their baby. Do you think that Luna's miscarriage and death will create problems between Will and Electra rather than help their relationship? Is Electra being too cold-hearted? The Bold and the Beautiful spoilers indicate that Remy Price ruins the big launch day for Hope Logan and Deke Sharp. It's go time for HFTF at FC, and it's been a long time coming for Hope for the future's boss who was on the outside looking in not so long ago. Deke is making a name for himself outside of his sister's shadow. He was chosen to lead HFTF when no one knew who he was. He has a solid concept of urban chic, and everyone agrees this is what the line needs now. Ridge Forrester and Steffi Forrester Finnegan are also on board, so Deke better hit it out of the park in order to justify their trust. FC needs fab fashions that will wow the buyers and the critics alike. But a huge problem is in the wings in the form of rejected Remy. Will poor Remy crash the fashion show and make a mess of everything the team has worked so hard for? After Deke learned what Remy did to Electra, he cut the guy loose, for now. Remy vowed to Deke that he'd go to therapy, put in the work, and prove he's a better man. Remy is crazy about his BF and desperate to keep their relationship together. But Deke is a loose cannon with poor impulse control. Will this be his and Deke's downfall? We find it hard to believe that Remy would voluntarily miss Deke's big FC Fashion World debut. But Remy is persona non grata, so if he pops up, chaos will ensue. That means that Remy has to crash the event, and we have a feeling that he gets caught. Soapy the Bold and the Beautiful, spoilers hint that Remy's anxiety about his romantic future with Deke leads to rash behavior. Question: is Remy dim enough to believe that he and Deke will have a happy reunion at the HFTF launch? Answer: he's friends with Luna, so anything is possible. The Bold and the Beautiful spoilers say that if there's anything we've learned about life in this fictional town of Los Angeles, or any soap for that matter, is that you are never really dead, even if that last nail is hammered into your coffin. Of course, we are talking about Luna Nozawa. While it appears as though she might have died during her last episode on the show, there's speculation that her death might only be temporary. In other words, it's only going to be a matter of time before Luna pops back up again. After all, her grandmother, Sheila Carter, has died so many times that fans have lost count at this point, right? Clearly, many B&B fans had a lot to say about the matter on social media. Some even commented with, "Is she really gone?" If so, it was truly way too rushed. Lisa Yamada's goodbye posts seem very real, so she very well could be gone permanently. I hope she's not though, since I think she's the best actress and most entertaining character ATM. Another fan of the show wrote, "I feel like she is going to come back. She was the best thing that has happened to the show in a very long time. There's no way that the soap is just going to dump a character like this." And then there was this comment as well. "I have a feeling that she is going to come back just in time for Will and Electra'S wedding. Not only that, but she's also going to be holding Will's baby in her hands." Now that's the kind of drama that the show needs. Needless to say, B&B fans will have to tune in each and every day to find out what will happen next. The Bold and the Beautiful airs weekdays on the CBS network. Check your local listings for times. In the meantime, let us know what you think by leaving us a line with your thoughts in our comments section below. The Bold and the Beautiful, spoilers for Tuesday, November 25th, reveal a confession that absolutely rocks Electra. Just when Electra Forrester finally thought Luna Nozawa was out of her life for good, Luna, or her death, crept back up. Electra is freaking out after receiving a mysterious text talking about Luna's death and who killed her. Why would someone target Electra about this? Electra is in the design office when things go from bad to worse, and she gets another text with a similar message. She wonders if she is in danger and doesn't know where to turn. Electra just wants to enjoy her idyllic beach life with Will Spencer, but something always seems to get in their way, and it always seems to have to do with Luna. She can't even leave Electra alone from the dead. Electra doesn't get to think about it for long before she gets a surprise visit from Dylan, the preschool art teacher who Luna locked in a closet during a mass shootout. Dylan is as nervous as she always seems, but she sits Electra down and tells her that she has to confess the truth. Will Dylan admit that she is the one who has been sending the texts, and she is the one who ran down Luna with her car? If so, was it an accident, or did Dylan somehow know that Luna would be there at that exact moment and murder the young woman who held her at gunpoint and stalked her little students last summer? And why does she choose to tell Electra her truth? Did they become that close when Electra babysat for Hayes Finnegan and would pick him up from art class? Does Dylan not have any other friends? Will Electra consider Dylan to be a hero since she rid their lives of Luna once and for all? Or is there more to this story than meets the eye? Perhaps Dylan is not who she seems to be. The Bold and the Beautiful. Spoilers reveal that during the week of November 24th, Dylan returns. A preview clip shows the teacher showing up at Forrester Creations to make some kind of confession to Electra Forrester. What exactly is this confession, and why would it matter to Electra? Keep reading, and let's talk about the possibilities. Let's start off by talking about Luna Nozawa's death. Will Spencer and Electra sure went through a lot thanks to Luna. While the girl is dead, there are complicated emotions considering the baby is also dead. While Luna's death is a relief to many, Will is mourning. The young man isn't mourning Luna, but the baby that he lost. While Bill Spencer and Katie Logan were going to adopt the baby and raise it as their own, that was still Will's child. It's only natural that he feels a bit of grief. After all, he had just gotten used to the idea of having the child in his life. The Bold and the Beautiful, spoilers reveal that the preview clip for the week of November 24th shows Dylan showing up. If you don't remember her, she was Hayes Forrester Finnegan's art teacher. The lady was also locked up in a closet while she tormented Steffi Forrester Finnegan. Dylan shows up, not to see Steffi though. The woman stops by Electra'S office. Of course, Electra recognizes her as she helped Steffi and John Finnegan with Hayes. Electra dropped the little boy off at art class all the time. However, Dylan admits she has a confession to make. What is this confession, and why would Electra care? Now that Luna is dead, Will and Electra think everything is going to be perfect now. However, in soaps, couples are always facing some kind of complication. Dylan might admit she knew Miss Sunshine was Luna, but I don't think that's it. Luna is dead, so there is no reason to admit it. The only thing I can think of is that Dylan is the one who hit Luna with her car. Another possibility is that Dylan has a history with Will. Dylan looks pretty young, so she would fall into Will and Electra's age group. There have been a lot of younger people coming on the show lately. That makes sense as all the kids have grown up. With Luna gone, there needs to be more young people. However, will Dylan's confession shatter Electra's world? Stay tuned to find out. The Bold and the Beautiful, spoilers and updates indicate that we need to discuss why Luna Nozawa's return is still on the table. Luna's fatal exit can easily be reversed, so let's consider the possibilities for another thrilling chapter in the narrative. There's a reason why fans on social media are having a hard time accepting that Luna is truly gone for good. If B&B intended for viewers to embrace Luna's dark fate, they should have shown her lifeless body on the roadside. Moreover, if this was the planned outcome for Luna, why didn't they allow her to die after being shot at the beach house? It would have provided a more impactful and conclusive ending if Luna had succumbed in the operating room. Instead, Lee Finnegan informed everyone that Luna had died off-screen during recovery. Given that this wasn't the case, it's no surprise that people are once again speculating about Luna's survival. What else can we do when no body was presented and B&B has played this game in the past? Deputy Chief Bradley Baker stated that Luna was instantly killed by the car that struck her. But how can we be certain, since none of us witnessed it firsthand? The show might be deliberately keeping the possibility open for a rewrite and a shocking return of Luna. Even Luna's miscarriage could potentially be reversed if the prison doctor had a reason to deceive Deputy Chief Baker, or the doctor didn't really check her. In any case, the CBS soap left a lot of drama unresolved by sending Luna off in such a subdued manner. This was an incredibly underwhelming conclusion for the character and truly needs to be addressed eventually. It's odd that the show bypassed the clear option of Luna falling off the pier and vanishing into the water. One of the many characters involved in the manhunt could have pushed Luna to her supposed demise. Then, Luna could have made a comeback later with a baby to disrupt Will Spencer and Electra Forrester's happily ever after. It might have been revealed that Luna was influencing Will regarding the loss of the baby. The show could still manage to bring back Luna and add to the Spencer family with just a few clever changes in the script. The real question is whether they will actually go through with it. But perhaps they could if they find themselves short on ideas and in need of fresh drama. This could be part of the reasoning behind Luna's off-screen exit, so keep that in mind if you're feeling down about her departure and all her plotting. According to spoilers for The Bold and the Beautiful, Luna will be absent for the time being, but we will keep you posted if any news about her return surfaces in the future. On the Monday, November 24th, 2025, episode of The Bold and the Beautiful, Forrester Creations scrambled to do damage control about Luna's death. Katie was surprised by a PR change at the company, and Electra received a mysterious text. Will and Electra took a dip in the ocean and wished it would help to wash away some of the trauma caused by Luna. While they relaxed, Will received a text alert about Luna and her ordeal. The press picked up on the situation, and the media coverage became non-stop. Will and Electra looked exasperated as they listened to a sea of messages coming in across his phone, all relating to Luna. Speculation online questioned if the Forrester family had something to do with Luna's death. Will shrugged it off, but he couldn't stop thinking about how much havoc Luna wreaked on all of their lives. Will's phone rang, and this time it was Katie checking in on him. His parents asked for an update on how he was doing, and he sang Electra's praises as his confidant. Katie offered to bring in Taylor if he needed professional help working through the intense trauma that he suffered. Will appreciated their efforts to check in, but Electra was his true rock. Although Will was grateful for the gift of the beach house, he struggled to move past all of the insanity Luna had caused there. She nearly killed Liam and Sheila, and it's all he could think of when he thought of his new home. Electra understood, but she reminded Will that they were too strong to be broken by Luna or her actions, and she was grateful that they made it out mostly unscathed. Electra received a text from someone who claimed to be responsible for the collision that took Luna's life. Electra couldn't believe that someone would have reached out to her or how they got her number. Will thought it was probably a prank, but the camera panned to someone's cell phone, where Electra's name was in their contacts, and a message said, "I am the one who ran over Luna." Bill didn't sleep much the night prior because of lingering stress from Luna. Katie expressed relief that Luna was killed in the midst of the manhunt. However, she worried that Will hadn't had a chance to process anything since it happened, but Bill assured her that they'd be there for their son when he was ready to work through the trauma. Bill's phone started buzzing, and they both knew that it was another story covering Luna's escape and subsequent death. Katie understood Will's desire to handle everything on his own, but he needed to come to terms with the miscarriage. Katie thought Luna was delusional for ever believing there could be a path to a future with Will. Bill questioned why Luna squandered her second chance at life and the potential to turn everything around. Instead, she destroyed Will's life. Katie said, "I know she's dead, and I probably shouldn't say this, but that girl got everything she deserved." Bill fielded questions from the press, who were desperate for details about Luna because he had secured her pardon. Katie didn't want Bill to blame himself, and she admitted that while he wasn't objective when it came to Luna, he truly believed she could have been reformed. Luna manipulated many people, and Katie wanted Bill to stop beating himself up about it. She asked him to let it go, and he said, "In this very moment, Dollar Bill is back in business." At the Forrester mansion, Brooke and Ridge discussed Luna's escape and death with Donna, Eric, and Carter. Eric wondered if anyone had heard from Will since everything transpired, but Brooke gave them time off. Eric thought that was a good idea because they would need time to recover from it. Ridge brought up Finn and how, despite everything, she was still his daughter. He declared, "I'm glad she's gone. Now Steffi doesn't have to look over her shoulder all the time." Carter discussed how tragic the loss of the baby was. Ridge reminded everyone about the tragic loss of Deacon's close friends, who were senselessly murdered by Luna. Ridge declared it was over, and Donna agreed, saying Katie could focus on her son. Brooke was appalled by the headlines relating to Luna's death. Donna couldn't believe that Luna had escaped the prison in a laundry cart, and, unfortunately for Forrester, they were being bombarded with questions from the press. Carter explained that Luna's involvement with Will was becoming a problem for them, and Donna spoke out against that assertion. Donna fired back at Carter, reminding him that nothing that happened was Will's fault, and he was a victim of Luna's lunatic behavior. He understood Will was a victim, but Will was still a part of the company. The PR team would typically handle the situation, but since Katie was head of PR and on sabbatical, they had to bring in someone else. Ridge encouraged everyone to head into the office so they could start picking up the pieces to shield their company from the negative backlash. The Forrester crew returned to the office, and Carter introduced everyone to Robin, who was essentially a damage control cleanup crew. This was not an instance of publicity that would work in the company's favor. Her main goal was to rid the public perception of the company's involvement in Luna and her heinous atrocities. Ridge signed a contract to enlist Robin and her PR company into Forrester Creations. However, Katie quickly arrived, unaware that her position was in flux. Katie discussed the PR nightmare surrounding Luna, but the company was very aware. Katie's jaw dropped when Ridge explained they'd brought in an outside company to clean up the PR mess. She was completely caught off guard when they brought in someone else to do the job she had been successful at in the past. The company thought it would take pressure off Katie, who was dealing with high levels of stress. Katie appreciated the concern, but she requested to speak to Brooke and Donna alone, asking Carter and Ridge for some privacy. Katie confessed that the stress level was consuming her, but she needed to stay strong for Will. Brooke and Donna reminded her that they'd always be there for her, and she was grateful for their love. Katie explained, "Luna's dead, and she'll never be able to hurt anyone ever again, but the damage is done. Will's life will never be the same. None of our lives will ever be the same." Bold and the Beautiful suggests Remy Price is looking for redemption and acceptance, and Katie Logan might be the person who can help him out if the medical crisis that B&B is hinting at manifests soon. This could be a huge twist. We're going to talk about how Remy might be able to get redemption by saving Katie's life. Way before Deke Sharp started dating Remy, we first met the bad guy when he was introduced on Bold and the Beautiful as Electra Forrester's old friend from back home. We learned right away that Remy was creepily obsessed with Electra, and she had no idea. Back in their hometown, we found out Remy was there for Electra when somebody posted deep fake nudes of her all over the internet. Everybody at school saw them. She was humiliated. Turns out, Remy did it. He posted the deep fake so he could be the hero to Electra. She just had to leave home. She ran off and landed in LA with a job offer from her Aunt Ivy Forrester to join her at Forrester Creations. And of course, her stalker Remy followed. He got a job and an apartment from Deacon Sharp at Il Giardino. And then we saw Remy had tons of photos of Electra plastered all over the wall in his little apartment, serial killer style. She thought Remy was her real friend. But when she wound up at his place and saw the creepy obsession collage, obviously, Electra was horrified. Then, Remy just went psycho, stalking and chasing Electra. She ran out of the apartment, and Remy chased her through this whole warehouse-type obstacle course thing, yelling for her, scaring Electra. They went through a parking lot, and then Remy ended up chasing Electra all the way onto the roof of a building. That's when Will Spencer finally caught up with them and confronted the guy. Electra and Remy were struggling at the edge of the roof. Electra was scared she was going to go over the handrail, and she broke free from Remy. Then Will and Remy struggled, and Will punched him. He ran off, but the cops grabbed Remy, and he was arrested. If you don't remember, there you go. Just caught you up. Electra wound up safe, Remy went to jail, and he was off the canvas for a while. But obviously, the charges weren't that serious because he returned. Sheila Carter had helped him out and got him a gig doing some repair work over at Bill Spencer's, and that's how he met with Luna Nozawa. Then he was off the canvas again for a little while. Remy was back in another run-in with Luna at the gun range when she was practicing to shoot Steffi Forrester so that she could clear the path to be with her dad, Finn Finnegan. We did notice at that time that Remy seemed to be less villainous, and he tried to discourage Luna from doing violence. So, it seemed already that Remy was less evil, that his muddy thoughts were clearing up, and obviously, this was part of a longer-ranging plan to redeem him. Then we saw him with Luna again, this time when she burst into Remy and Deke's apartment and peed on a pregnancy test in their bathroom. And that's when we found out Remy was dating Deke. Fans and Luna were all surprised to find out that out of nowhere, Remy is gay and living with his very handsome boyfriend Deke. Remy tried to explain that he terrorized Electra because he was still in the closet struggling to come out and be his true self. Remy told Luna the closet is a scary place, and his fear of coming out caused him to obsess over Electra. Clearly, it looks like Remy is on a path to redemption, but it's going to take a lot because Electra was absolutely horrified when she recently found out Remy is Deke's boyfriend that he keeps talking about in glowing terms. Plus, Ivy, Katie, and Will all freaked out when Deke brought Remy to work the other day. And of course, Deke was horrified to find out what Remy had done to Electra, whom Deacon Sharp considers a sweet girl and a work friend. Remy begged Electra to forgive him. But of course, she said no. And Will said no. The bottom line is, it's going to take something big, some kind of grand gesture for Remy to be truly redeemed. And it's hard to imagine what that could be, right? Brad Bell loves to recycle plots from the past, so he may be doing something similar with Remy that he did with felony Flo Fulton, and it could tie back to Katie and her ongoing health issues. Lately, we've had mentions from Donna Logan and Brooke Logan about Katie's past heart problems, and they worried that all the Luna drama would take a toll on Katie's health. So, I suspect Donna and Brooke were foreshadowing some health concerns for Katie. If so, it could be Remy who saves Katie's life by donating an organ. If you recall back in 2019, Felony Flo was the town pariah among the Forresters, Spencers, and Logans. That's because she helped Reese Buckingham steal Hope Logan and Liam Spencer's baby girl, Beth Logan. Flo is the one who actually sold baby Beth to Steffi in a private adoption that Taylor Hayes brokered with no idea it was Hope's baby. So Flo kept up the lie that Beth was dead, and once it all came out, it also came out as part of Flo's redemption arc that she was the daughter of Storm Logan. So Brad Bell first tied Flo to a legacy character, and then he used a Katie medical crisis to redeem her. Now we've got Brad Bell tying Remy to a legacy character, a legacy offspring, Deke Sharp, and we may get a new Katie medical crisis that redeems Remy. If you recall, Katie was in kidney failure, and Flo coughed up one of her kidneys for Katie. She was a match because her dad was her sibling, and that instantly redeemed her. Felony Flo even wound up with a job at Forrester Creations, and Hope forgave her for stealing her baby. If Flo can be redeemed for something worse, I think Remy can be too. On the scale of sin, I think that stealing and selling a baby is worse than posting deep fake nudes. But both are horrible and creepy, and in Remy's case, really perverted and cruel. Katie's had a heart transplant, and she's had a kidney transplant. And I did some research about long-term issues after organ transplants. One thing I see is that she may have liver damage. After an organ transplant, you have to take anti-rejection medication. And now, with 2 organs transplanted, Katie may be taking higher doses. And that can really damage your liver. But Remy could donate part of his liver as a living donor. Like with bone marrow, it's a transplant that can be done from a donor who is alive and not dead. There's a complication that can come years after a heart transplant called Fontan-associated liver disease. Or Bold may just invent some medical malady like they often do. We could see Katie facing serious health problems and needing some sort of donation. There's been a whole lot of foreshadowing. So, if Remy were to donate something, bone marrow, a chunk of his liver, something to save Katie life, that would be a game changer. And then Will and Electra and pretty much everybody would have to forgive Remy. It's hard to imagine what else could prove to Electra that Remy has really changed. And they clearly plan to have him sticking around because he's with Deke. And that means they've got to redeem him.